throws it down. Oh, my goodness.
Classic Orlando Magic basketball.
For the Magic pouring it on here in Game 1. Nelson squares up, drills it. Orlando has a commanding 3-0 lead over the Charlotte Bobcats. The Magic are playing for a sweep. Nelson in the lane. Jameer Nelson's got 26. And the Bobcats are going to be swept by the Orlando Magic.
And it's looking very good for the home team here in Orlando tonight. They will take a 2-0 lead.
This one was not in doubt.
Chucks it over to Richard. He'll catch, he'll shoot, he'll hit for a 3.
Orlando with the sweep.
Hello again, basketball fans. This is the Orlando Magic team preview show on NBA TV. They are looking for a championship. It's Rick Kamla and a couple of guys that have 5 combined championships in the NBA. Bones has 2. Rick Fox has 3. Fellas, before we get into the nitty-gritty of the Orlando Magic, I want to ask you this. The Miami Heat make the huge moves in the offseason, obviously. They've been the talk of the NBA. The Boston Celtics made some nice moves. They're the reigning Eastern Conference champs. L.A., the Lakers, they're the 2-time defending world champs. Or is Orlando getting lost in the shuffle a little bit in terms of being a title contender?
I don't think so, Rick. I think this is a great situation for Stan Van Gundy. He has an opportunity this year going into the season to be the second most talked about team in Florida with what's going on in Miami.
What do you think? Are they getting slept on a little bit as a title contender? Because to me, there are 4 teams that can legitimately win the championship, with Orlando being one of them.
This is true, and unfortunate for the Magic, they live in the state of the Miami Heat right now, which is now they get to live within the weeds and maybe surprise some people as they go throughout the course of the season. I look forward for them to be in the running for a championship. I just don't think they win it.
Well, I think our goal is the same as it's been. I mean, we want to win a championship, and so that's what we start with from day one. That's what we've got to work toward in terms of building our habits. And, it's been the same for 3 years for us. I mean, we want those expectations, and I think last year ended on a bad note for us. We didn't think that we played particularly well in the Boston series, and I think that's got guys even more committed to come back and be better.
For General Manager Otis Smith, who's done a wonderful job building this terrific team, not much. I mean, they basically have had the pieces in place. They had Quentin Richardson. They lose Matt Barnes, so kind of a trade there. They get Chris Duhon. Anthony Johnson no longer there as a backup PG. Now they have Duhon, Jason Williams behind Jameer Nelson, and Daniel Orton was a late first-round pick, but he has a knee injury and doesn't figure to really be in the plan for Orlando this season. But let's talk about Quentin Richardson. What does going from Barnes to Quentin Richardson, who early in the preseason was the starting small forward, how does that change, help or hurt this team?
Well, I think it's a downgrade, to be honest with you. I think Matt Barnes brought a dynamic to that team. Last year, we've seen him mix it up with Kobe Bryant. Obviously, there was an incident between Matt Barnes, but he brought a little bit of dog to the team. It's something that they don't have. And now you replace him with Quentin Richardson, who we know is a capable three-point shooter, but he's been in systems where they do that. The Knicks, the Suns, and now he's with Orlando. So, of course, he's going to take a lot of threes, but defensively, I think he's a downgrade for the Orlando Magic, and I'm not exactly sure the role he's going to play.
Well, Dwight, the Orlando Magic came close a couple years ago. You got to the NBA championship, and now all of a sudden everybody's talking about the team to beat Boston, the team to beat Miami. Somehow they're not talking about Orlando. Does that bother you?
Oh, no, it doesn't. It's been that way since I've been in the league, and we're not concerned about that, As long as we go out every night and perform to our best, then we'll have a chance to win that title. We know Miami's going to be a pretty good team, but, there's a lot of great teams in the league. And if you just look at one team or try to prepare for one team or, one playoff series, then you could lose that chance to win the title. And we don't want to take any team for granted or any series for granted at that. And right now we're not looking at the playoffs or anything. We're looking at being the best we can be night in or night out and getting that work up, getting that work in so that by the time playoffs come, we'll be ready.
The expectations for him to play that second fiddle, that superstar role that we've known him to be, Vinsanity, for so many years. He's getting older, so his slashing is not as dominant at the finish at the rim as it used to be. You see him there not just dunking on someone's head, but he's still an explosive scorer, and you want that threat on the floor, and I think you'll continue to get that from him.
Do they win the championship?
I don't think so. Last year, this team was really deep against the Celtics, but they didn't dig deep enough.
I think another deep season in the win column, but short in the finals.